I see a lot of commits on our GitHub today.
Yeah, I made the reorganization. I found a new contract to base a lot of the Arcade NFTs on. It compiled, which was a problem I had for 2 weeks. It wasn't compiling for the first time. Yeah. And main idea is that we're going to go with, I mean, my update in terms of the Arcade NFT is that we will shift away from having an NFT kind of structure as we were thinking about it. I mean, the NFT is going to be there, but your credentials are not going to be held into IPFS, but we will use a combination of decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials. And in a sense, what you give, what Arcade is going to give to its members is the NFT, which is going to be a governance NFT. Right? So you use this to vote, or we use this to allow you to vote, to allow you to participate in certain contracts. But then your credentials in terms of experience and so on and so forth, we will sift that out to decentralized identifiers and verifiable credentials. And we'll do that because you can also make it, first of all, a little bit more rich by whatever we think, richer than whatever we think in the end, right? So you could add essentially to it in a sense. But also it makes a lot of the problems that we might have had in terms of having to abandon identities or abandon NFTs easier, in the sense that the token and the credentials can change. And that, in a sense, is the kind of solution of being able to solve both the ID and the credentials and the governance kind of problem. Plus, going down that route means that we don't have to create a full credential system before we allow governance. So we can be faster in issuing the NFTs in terms of governance and not the credentials, as far as I understand later.
And like, who provides the credential? Like, it's like there's an operator role.
Yes, so we will have essentially, you can identify, the beautiful thing is that you can have other organizations providing the credentials. So let's say you have an architecture degree, and this might be provided by your university. You could add this to the identifier. You could add your own, but also ArchiDAO will be able also to provide credentials to you in terms of saying, you know, Theo has worked on this project, Mayur has worked on this project, they have delivered this. So we need to see how we will update credentials based on activity, right? So let's say you created three and delivered three workshops and 2 projects, right? So we need to see, will this happen on-chain with the signature that updates the credentials, or is it more of a off-chain collective process? So I haven't figured out the details, but it seems easier compared to having to burn a token and issue a new one, which was the previous kind of idea. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like you take part in various communities. You develop your credential. So it's like a JSON, which is like a metadata of around your identity. And if you are part of
Yeah.
2 communities, you can like concatenate that metadata. But like,
Yeah.
is there any
Yeah.
like data schema which is like by ETH Foundation, where there's a particular ERC
Yeah.
which?
So we're using essentially Web3 from the World Wide Web Consortium. I had it just in front of me. So verifiable credentials are described this year by the W3 Consortium, and decentralized identifiers again by the W3 Consortium. funny enough, the DIDs, I run into them by looking at circular economy problems, reporting back to my previous tokens on tokenizing buildings. So there is a kind of connection there between doing tokens and DIDs for building components. But the beautiful thing with this is that you could actually have verifiable credentials that talk to different tokens. So let's say you have a city DAO, you have ArchiDAO, and you have, I don't know, your Go to the Moon DAO. You will still be able to use your same identity, your same verifiable credentials with different tokens. And this doesn't double down on double down identities, essentially. The latest Soulbound token I uploaded like 4 minutes before we started is compiling and working on Remix if you want to test it. I haven't gone through a lot of its interface, but I can start adding the governance, and then we can talk with Barbie and Kiko on what we can add to the website on recognizing, if a member wants to be recognized on the website, they can use that token to do so.
Okay, I just want to like understand it properly. So
yeah,
that DID, like one needs to enroll to create that registry, and where is that data being stored? On IPFS, on chain? Like I saw in the diagram, there's like verified data registry, but like is the user carrying data with themselves, or
I haven't figured out all of the details, but from my understanding, we would host credentials and the identifier on IPFS.
Okay.
But the DIDs as well are kind of like they're essentially a document unique identifier, right? So you could essentially use them as stories, but in the context of the token, essentially, it's going to be unique, right? So it's essentially a text string. So you have the scheme, right? And in the scheme, we could use essentially RPFS and the method and then the specific identifier. And that is the connector between the token and the credential. So for all purposes, we could use HTTP as well, making it more centralized, right? So we could actually issue one from our server, right? But then if the server goes down, you have a problem.
Yeah, like I have looked at Ceramic, which has like similar approach of like, okay, but like at the beginning, I need to associate my wallet, add more, like they're doing like add social data of Twitter and other, and then make that transaction, and all other apps who follows this wallet KYC data schema can now read it. But first the user needs to like enroll it.
Yeah. So there will be, I don't have all of the answers yet, but we're essentially, I mean, the work we did in terms of tokens, we will abandon that. And the token is going to be simplified. So we will no longer need the multisig of ArchiDAO to validate a token, right? We can issue a token much more easily, and this makes it much easier in terms of whitelisting tokens and issuing them and creating the airdrop. But then we need, the complexity moves away from the tokens, it goes to the DIDs in the sense that we would probably need to cryptographically sign them. I don't have all of the details yet, so I need to redo the diagrams and say, well, this is how it's going to happen. And then the other beautiful thing about this is that we could actually have me, for example, I mean, the token is done, but then we could actually develop different examples and test them. Or you could do your own DID, I could do mine, and then go like, okay, here's an example on IPFS, here's an example based only on blockchain. Yeah.
Interesting. the reason I asked question earlier, because in ceramic, all my data was self-claimed. Like I was inputting Twitter, social, and if we are doing like Akada NFT, where okay, you completed this project, it's a third party who's gonna add data to your DID. So like
Yeah,
other permission.
but you need to allow, that is a little bit dangerous. So we need to have that functionality of is allowed to add data to your
Yep,
DID. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, like
Yeah.
even the
Sorry, I was looking at ceramic, yeah, when they started 2 years ago, but I'll go and take a look again on what we could pick up from there.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the focus again is, as I said, try and have the token and the ID system ready before December, so we can at least start to keep on the schedule ahead on onboarding people earlier.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. DID, like a lot of people are speculating, it's gonna be the big thing in future. So incorporating and considering now is gonna be very
Yeah.
useful.
The other good thing is that if we gain experience with that, it will also go on to the level of using identifiers in terms of building data. And I think that's where it's going to get interesting, right? So breaking down, for example, a twin into all of the components. It was easy to do it with tokens, but it makes it much more powerful to have both tokens and the DIDs there.
Yeah, like one thing I was thinking, sorry to like go on a tangent,
No,
where
no,
if
go on.
for the digital twin, like we wanted to provide that ownership of data back to the user or wallet owner. So if we like track that data, give them store it on IPFS and make it like a DID of like user behavior, and only they have the permission. Like we can have like a encrypted or like gated way, anyone who wants to view that data needs to buy tokens or like pay to that DID user to access it.
Yeah.
So cool.
So that was me in terms of progress on the development. The other thing I wanted to mention is I think the branding workshop worked really well. I wasn't able to join the core group last week, but one of the things that I think we need to do, and I'll start scheduling those, is similar product development workshops and business development workshops. For CryptoTwin, for example, we need to create a business canvas and a product canvas to kind of identify what we do next. I know we're doing the prototype, but we need to have more of a plan, I think. Same thing for a couple of things that I'm trying to work out with Liam. Um, but we can develop essentially a set of smart contracts that make it easier to work with BIM, and that could be a kind of open source project that we develop for IFC interoperability. And that would lead essentially then to the twin at the end. But anyway, I just wanted to say that was I lagging? Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So where
Yeah,
did
I
I lose you?
I think like that's a great idea, because like we are doing this a lot of interesting experiment, and at one particular time like we'll be able to create like this libraries or like software packages, where how right now we use OpenZeppelin, take NFT contract template, take token template. Will it would be great if we can create, okay, import Arcadao slash BIM template, Arcadao slash digital twin, and then they can just
Exactly.
like call that functions, okay, give me the token of your Revit model forge, and then we get it integrated, like good to go.
Yep.
Awesome. So the next plan,
Any
what's the timeline for Akida NFT now? Like next steps?
so I'm behind schedule. Let me pull up
I need to check whether Theo is still posting 100 days of.
I posted today again with a really big gap between. So for 2 weeks, there was a really big gap. But yeah, I'm behind schedule, but only at the edge, only by a week. So we said that we would take 4 weeks to do the token. Trying to find the schedule. Sorry. So 105 days. You see, this is useful, right? Yeah, so first 3 weeks were Arcade NFT specifications, project. We haven't worked out the cryptoeconomics yet. Smart contract were the first 4 weeks, so I'm 5 days late. But now we're going into metadata structure on IPFS, and front end is actually these 2 weeks. So I'll sift those to make me look good. But also this will allow, I think, Bobby and Pico to work on this a little bit better. There you go. Project updated. And I need to also do the work XYZ kind of idea of doing the tasks, because I haven't finished putting the Gantt chart on the tasks. Yeah, that's where we are. We will probably do a workshop development, product development workshop for Akida NFT as well. Yeah.
We're all gonna make it. Wagami.
Cool. Bobby, Chico, you wanna share any progress?
Yeah, firstly, thank you for the extra time.
You know, it's not like someone. I mean, apart from Major, who is like the moment I put the Gantt chart on, right? So Major is gonna hold me accountable. So I give you extra time, so Major will not.
That's perfect. I think it works for everybody.
But also, you know what you can do? You can go on the Gantt chart and add more time to your schedule.
We always check the history, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've also been a bit slow, but got a few things implemented with the mobile version and the hamburger menu. But we need to clean up a little bit more, and then actually try and aim for just a MVP, and maybe add more features later than, rather than trying to add all the features now. But yeah, just get something done to actually put online.
Yep.
Bobby,
Great.
do you have anything?
No, that's it. Probably the thing that still holds us more is the branding thing. I saw that Richa responded Liam,
Yep.
and let's see what we can come from that, and if that's enough to push us.
Is there, sorry, I also missed the branding workshop. Is there a video or maybe a summary or something?
I think so. Let me find the video.
I definitely think these workshops are actually great. If we can get the extra product development and business development workshops as well.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, part of why I want business development is also to start using part of the traction to gain revenue. Um, no, I don't think it was recorded.
I thought you did, right? I remember we at the beginning you said let's record for Hiko.
Was it?
Was it
Yeah,
streamed?
it's no. But I think I recorded it, but I think it wasn't the Arkidel Zoom.
Hmm.
But Hiko probably most of the material is in his email, the one that he sent us. Did you get it? I can check and forward to you.
Yeah, please forward that email. I didn't receive that.
Okay, good. But just so you know, there's a lot of questions and no answers so far. So it's probably not gonna
Yeah,
be giving you
But
any directions.
there was a
but we were trying.
presentation which was shared too. I think that might be useful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Liam can share it. But also the other idea is that we need to kind of speed up the call for answers to the questionnaire, so that we
Mhm.
end up with a second kind of idea of how this works.
Mhm. Bobby, what are the main things you are looking from that outcome which would be incorporated in the website? Is it like the landing page, the UI UX, or particular
Yeah.
component?
Basically, we need like, what are we gonna say? And that's pretty much related to who we are. And these are sorry, and this is going to lead us to a style as well. And it seemed clear for me from the Saturday that we had the branding workshop that we are a lot, but what we everybody knows what we are, and that we are all these many different things, but we are lacking like a
A coherent brand.
summary. Yeah, we are lacking like a one phrase that says it all. And if we get this, I would feel like confident on doing the rest of the things by myself. Right now, if I would start with the information that we all put there in the Miro board, if I would start like designing the page, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would feel like I would be leaving something behind, or I would be passing a lot of different messages. And we definitely need someone like like a marketing person, like that's gonna
Okay.
say, okay, that's our phrase. That's what we are. That's our value. I guess that's it. We're missing our value, like a big thing there. And what is the message that we want to share with whoever enters the website?
Okay. In the end, we need, if I understand correctly, the questionnaire to go to be returned essentially, and then Liam would try to consolidate
Yes.
the decisions, right?
Yeah, perfect. That's it. We're still gonna need
Yep.
someone to take a look through it all and define what's the final answer. And someone who has this kind of perspective.
Yeah, and I think I saw now Ritza's email. Have we sent the questionnaire?
Now, we were discussing whether to send as Google Doc or Google Form, and that's where Richa said like there are like a lot of questions if we filter down a bit, we might see more participation from the community. I was wondering, like, we could do like a similar community call on a weekend where
Yeah, I agree. We could try to do it together.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's these are the questions. I mean, we did the part of the workshop with the Miro. I think that's what you need to see, Kiko. That's what we had recorded actually. It's a Miro board. So
that was correct.
so I'm trying to understand now the document we had in front of us that Richard sent. Is that what we compiled?
No, like so Liam sent like I think like 20 around 20,
Yeah.
30 questions. And so there are two ways to do. Either we send that Google Doc to community, but also how are they gonna respond? So that's why we thought let's convert those questions into Google form and send the
Yeah.
link.
I would say go with the link, with the form, because it will allow us to update data and also have a collation of data a lot better. It might be easier to structure some of the questions with shorter answers.
Yeah. Or like we could same have like a community call on a weekend. The people who are active in the community will join the call and do similar Miro board exercise of posting and get instantaneous data from the community.
We
Yeah.
can do that, but I would try to do both, right? So
Yeah.
get the forms as well and the idea on the
Okay.
on the questionnaire.
Cool. Yeah.
There is
But we
also a later one, an earlier one, fundamentals that we did. So a workshop that we did, because I open now the old ArchiDAO Miro, and then are already. I mean, marketing and partnerships are empty, but similar questions on how we coordinate and who we are and what we value, right, are there.
the one with Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also December. So we have one from November, December 2021, right? So I think that's something that we need to get to Liam as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Crypto Twin as well there. Let me see what else we have. Where is the Miro we had? Was this by Liam? It's probably Liam's Miro.
No, the one that we used on Saturday is ours, like ArchiDAO one.
I can't find it.
I shared a link. Let me check. Beijoca. Who is this person there?
Okay, perfect. That's me. Okay, found it. Yeah.
How many names do you have?
No.
Yeah.
This is a random name that Miro gives to me, even though I've logged in with ArchiDAO.
Okay, good.
No, sorry, I'm ArchiDAO, and then the other one is probably Liam. Oh, that's you actually, Papi.
No, it's me.
It's Kiko. There you go.
It's
Okay.
me. Yeah, I logged in with a different email there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Chico, that's the board exactly. So,
Okay,
the one shared there.
okay, perfect. Thanks. I'll go through that.
Yeah. So it's, and you can add also to it.
Sure.
So maybe the next two steps would be, I don't know, if Barbie, if you can like work with Richard to get this form out, then it would be like escalate the efforts on the branding, and we
Sure.
can do like a follow-up call with Liam, or and share the 3 or 2 boards which we already have, because from
Yep.
the data I think like some of the pattern is repeating what we said in last December
Yep.
and what we said like a week ago, and there might be like one cohesive message coming out of it, but also we want like community's perspective and then like merge like both both messages.
Okay, I'll help her.
Okay,
I'll talk to her.
Okay.
awesome. Cool. I'll share my update. If Theo, can you allow screen sharing?
Can I? I don't know. Yep.
Okay, let's go. Mhm. Uh, Windows. So, like taking a step back, in Crypto Twin, what we decided is they have um, the meditation space. What if we can govern the art uh, using smart contract and demonstrate it in metaverse as well as in real life? So we got their model. It's hosted on our land in Decentraland, and there are three major components to it. First is the smart contract, and I'll show how it works. So basically, it's on Polygon if you want to test it and vote. But the way it works is you give a default URL, let's say, which is hosted on Decentraland as well as IPFS, and the person who deploys the contract is the chairperson. And then second part becomes assigning people right to vote. So you can um, uh, give bunch of addresses who whom you would like to vote on as part of the crypto twin DAO. So now, oops, not this one. Hmm. Crypto twin, you should. Oh, I'm.
You know what happens with live demos always, Major. It always works when you're not live.
Exactly.
No way. This is a basic function. It's
Welcome to my
uh,
world, Major, where everything works before you go live on the internet, and then it fails in the live stream.
maybe I should have recorded another demo. But
Yeah.
basically, like what it's very straightforward. Like you give the right to a person to vote, and things become interesting. Where okay, what you do is, let's say the DAO, someone in the DAO wants to make a new proposal. Let's support a local artist and give the image. Okay, this image is being made as a proposal, and now you have the right to vote. So here in the vote option, if you if you support, you just say true. If you reject, it will say false. So now you supported this, so I should have shown this. So there is what we are doing in IRL in the depth as well as on a Decentraland is there is a public variable called art crypto tindao, and it gives a string URL. So basically in Decentraland, we we call the smart contract and read this variable and render an image from this. So right now we have made voted, and all we need to do is okay. Right now I have like 2 days as like waiting period. So one interesting thing is you can't make recurring proposals. If the second proposal is less than the waiting period, it will uh, like the transaction would be not successful. So once you do, so right now we see this old image and we voted true. So hopefully the proposal should pass. So all you need to do is someone who is the chair or the owner uh, needs to make this call, make proposal decision. So here it will show the new image because the vote part pass. So in the IRL, DEB, and in Metaverse, we are gonna like check every second or every minute this variable of art crypto. And whenever the proposal is passed, this gets updated. So the artwork in IRL and in Metaverse will be updated with the new image. And then there are other utilities where, okay, you can check there's the latest proposal. And there's also, uh, what else? You can go through the history of proposals. So you can say, okay, let's support an artist. There was a proposal. How many people voted yes? How many people voted no? So that gives, and if you want to just keep track of current proposal, this is also a function. So if I make a new proposal, let's do. So the ultimately you will be posting an IPFS link in the art URL, and everywhere you are rendering that. So
Yep.
here you'll have, okay, there's a new proposal which is active, and then if I say proposal one, okay, though no one has voted. So I have the basic DApp, which, so all this contract is on our crypto
Yep.
twin folder, art curation and art curation governance. And in the same folder, I have like a basic DApp. And what
Okay.
the DApp is doing is we are reading the contract. This is deployed on Polygon, and that is like I'm fetching, give me current proposal and give me the URL link. And there is this image source. Where is that? Uh, I defined an image. Oh yeah,
It's
image.
above
So
there.
there's,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's an image style, and so by default it will go to like the, like when we deployed the smart contract, it will have a default URL which we give, and we will update the URL if the proposal is passed. So the image is re-rendered in the DApp. I have also other functions in the DApp where, okay, first is like, okay, now we are able to do real-time art visualization based on how the DAO voted or if the no proposal passed or not. Second is there's also in the same dep you can do voting. Okay, I want to do yes or no to this proposal. Then like someone can make like a decision call. Okay, similarly I should, okay, make the final decision on the proposal. And also I can create a new proposal. So you can type like there's like two form field here as I showed here where, okay, you can input the description of the artwork and the artwork URL. So you can also make proposal from the website itself. So Simon is working on like the same functionality in Decentraland, where he's gonna make a call from the smart contract and read the URL and like create a texture in the scene from the URL. And in IRL, in the meditation house, Una is gonna connect her laptop with a second monitor and will show this dApp. And what in the video what we are gonna show is you make a proposal, then couple of seconds of in decentralized original artwork, and like proposal being passed, then artwork changes, and same in IRL, original artwork on that second monitor and it being changed. It's like a 5 to 10 second clip of voting and artwork change.
Okay, excellent. Very good work.
Yeah, looks amazing.
Since you already have a DApp, could you record a screencast of how it works? Then we can fit it in for the video.
Yeah, so the dApp works, but like it's very bad UI. So I'm gonna most probably work with someone to make it look beautiful. It's just like buttons
Okay,
and
yeah. But remember, right, at the moment we're not gonna expose it to people until November. So even a fast video, because we can speed it up for the submission, and that will just basically say,
yeah,
well, here's the contract, root code, click, 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 I deploy, vote, right, all of that. And this could be like 10 or 20 seconds on the video with a description, just to show that we have the work.
yeah. So most probably on Thursday, I'm gonna record it because there's also a UI element in Decentraland which Simon
Yeah.
is gonna record. So we'll combine all that footage and give it
Okay.
to Eugene.
Chico, you wanted to ask something?
No, I'm just saying that good work with the smart contract and the
Yeah,
dApp.
thanks.
I'm thinking now to outsource all of my work to Major. So I will just buy some food and beer and wine, whatever you want.
I'll give you my wallet address.
Very good.
Send him wine.
Chico is
Yeah.
considering outsourcing some work to you, Major, as well.
I really want like long term, which is like cross chain NFT collateral and liquidity. So if you have like real estate NFT on Ethereum, can you use that to get more loan or collateral on Polygon without bridging it or without selling it? And that's gonna be interesting.
But let's begin with, I mean, I think we have a lot of work going from, as you were describing, we did some work with Chico on, and Zeno on what it would actually take to tokenize buildings in terms of connecting with the financial system. And if we develop as part of the crypto train a solution to that, that will be already a killer product from our point of view. That's why I think we need the product development, and we have developed partial solutions here and there that kind of work but not the whole thing, you know. And I think that's where it becomes important. And now that's just a concept on voting, right? But what if you could vote to sell the whole thing? You know, could you do that, right?
Yeah, actually, like Simon and I were like had a really interesting discussion last night on okay, what there could be interesting like governance or gating mechanism on space usage. Do we provide more voting rights for people who are using the space often, so there they have a more weight in what kind of artwork should be governed? And then what like why like what are the elements we can use it in metaverse to leverage the real potential which we can't do it in IRL life? So it could be like data analytics or like dashboard of space usage in IRL which you can see there, or like there's a big billboard in the metaverse which rotates of like this is the current artwork and like branding of the space, like advertisement model or something.
Yeah,
But
so
like
let's
we
think
need to
what is
filter
the
down. Yeah.
yeah, that's why the Nuance One project is good from my point of view. It starts us up, but also we need to think what are the next beats of development in the path to make it work on a much more complete basis. Anyway, yeah, no, good progress after 2 weeks of not having a real dev call on that level.
Cool. So I think the three major efforts we have right now is Akidava NFT, the Crypto Twin, and website. Uh, I don't know, like, what's the best way to involve few people who have shown interest, but if we can proactively like form task and start those engagement, it will help us in long run.
I think we need to start holding more project specific meetings, right? So I put it on my to-do list to invite now Chico and Barbie for the Akidava NFT, hold a meeting that is more about here's the credentials, here's how they work, but here's how we will incorporate the token onto the website. And I think we need to, keep this meeting as a coordination meeting, more like here's my progress. And then each project needs to start having more of a focused team that goes, this is what we do. And then on Wednesdays, we just update people saying, stand up and be counted.
Cool. Sounds good.
Where do we have?
Yeah,
Do
good.
we have? Do we have a way to know who is interested where?
Yeah, that's
Apart from I know Chico is interested in that, and I think we need to start making a form or a sign up process.
yeah, like we need to migrate, like, okay, these are the people and what's their follow-up contact, because yeah, I think like if we do project specific meetings, we might get like few people who were remotely interested join the call, and then we can like do one-to-one onboarding and like can start with just baby tasks.
Okay. Well, we try to see if we can do one onboarding call per month on or use this one as onboarding for development.
Yeah, like this is.
Don't answer. Think about it. Let's just think about it. We might do a let's see, right? But I'd like to see if we can start capturing somewhere, either with the form, who is interested in what, and see how we do it. But yeah, good. So would you like to? Sorry, would you like to start looking into Crypto Twin and kind of start coordinating that?
Yeah, like after the hackathon submission, like I was thinking of organizing a Crypto Twin specific meeting, give them update, and also like churn out some baby task and open it out and dework, and people who are interested can apply. But like I think we're doing good step. Like Simon got very active here, so like one person or 2% at a time. So it's a good progress. Like they are very dedicated.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I'm really happy we're developing, right? So suddenly it starts to work. The other thing that I wanted to say is that we need we'll start to get busy with the GitHub and won't be able to follow everybody. So what we need to do is decide on licenses and decide on a copyright agreement as you sign before you are put in, right? Yeah. At some point we will have people who might have questions on yeah. So we need to make certain I'm only saying this because we can have a structure where the code might belong to a non-profit, for example. And then Archidao does provide services on top of that. But essentially the code is safeguarded against anybody who might have second thought. right? Does that make sense? So we
Yeah.
need one of the tasks that I have thought about I would do in the next weeks is licensing and maybe going with the LGPL. The other thing is that because we copy a lot of code, sometimes we also copy the license. And you'll see, for example, I'm using GPL and the MIT. I saw you're using GPL, right? But maybe we need to standardize on a couple of licenses, depending on whether it's website, code, all of that.
Yep.
This will also avoid any danger or any risk later on. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. I mean, that was an hour. I think we can wrap it up if nobody else has a question. Cool. Good work, people. Excellent.
Okay.
Siko, Bobby, I'll be in touch for Akira NFT, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye now.
Cool. Have a good evening.
Bye. Thanks, guys.